what you need to go pro in football. So in this video, I'm going to be covering the 4 most important attributes, and I'm going to be explaining how you can fix them and basically take your game to the next level. Just a quick introduction about myself. My name is Jamie, and I help footballers elevate their career and take it to the next level. In this video, I will give you the recipe for success in football. I'm going to be covering the 4 most important points, and with your hard work and my knowledge that I share with you, you will achieve success. Quickly, I want to say that there are 3 products linked below in the description, one of them being my professional fitness plan that took me from playing Sunday League to now being the fittest player in my team and the league. And then as well as this, I have a gym plan, and as you can see, it's worked decently, and I body bigger players off the ball, so it must be working. And then as well as this, I do one-to-one mentoring where I build you guys a personalized pro routine so you can basically elevate your career at a rate that you would not be able to do so without my knowledge basically helping you. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. So starting off with the most obvious thing, we need technical ability. This is the most fundamental thing within football, and this is actually what makes you a footballer. If you don't have a technical ability, then you're just simply a casual footballer. And obviously, if we want to go pro, we need to be standing out and having excellent technical ability. And what does technical ability actually mean? Well, it means you are able to manipulate the ball in every single possible way, whether it's in the air, on the floor, left, right, straight forward, backwards, wherever it is. If you can basically master your technical ability, you can literally do whatever you want with the ball. And this is not talked about at all. People talk about your technical ability, but they don't say why it's so important. And the reason is you can do anything that you want with the ball. And if you can do anything, of course, your 1v1s are going to be better, your dribbling is going to be better, your control is going to be better, your first touch. Everything improves and everything stems from technical ability. This is actually my biggest regret. I didn't practice my technical ability enough when I was younger. I'm naturally very good technically, but if I'd have just sort of practiced it regularly, then I would have been flying by now, and I started too late. So, how to fix your technical ability. This is very simple. This is not controversial, or at least it shouldn't be. Unfortunately, we've got idiots in the football scene now saying you don't need to do cone drills, you don't need to do anything related to a cone. But, of course, don't listen to the propaganda. This is the truth. Ball mastery. If you do this regularly, then you'll be able to manipulate a ball wherever you want, like I explained before, while standing still. And what I mean by this is ball mastery is drills where you're basically standing by the cone, you're dribbling, you're pulling it back, you're pushing it forward, you're going around the cone, but you're sort of maintaining a solid base. You're not moving too far forwards, too far sideways. So if you practice ball mastery regularly, then of course you're going to master manipulating a ball standing still. But how do we actually improve on mastering the ball while actually dribbling at someone? Because this is what's really going to get us round a player on, for example, a counter attack. So it's through cone drills. Lots of people hate on cone drills, but they are the absolute fundamental, because what it means is if you manipulate a ball, if you basically teach your brain and your muscles to be able to push a ball left, for example, then this is the first stage into basically being able to beat a player. Because there's lots of guys who say you don't need cone drills, but then they think that they're talking about players like Neymar, right, who have obviously already mastered their ball control. If you're mastering, and if you're in the phase of mastering your ball control, then you need to learn how to manipulate a ball wherever you want it to be, so you can choose whatever skill you want, so you can be creative. Because if you're running at someone, a lot of the time, people have the brain. They know that they need to do a rollover or they need to do a la croqueta, but they haven't practiced it. So how are they meant to do it? And the best way to start practicing these skills and these types of dribbles is to basically just start doing cone drills. And this, obviously, you do this less regularly because it's more strain on your legs. This is obviously, you're going to burn your legs out. You're going to burn the muscle fibers, which is good and bad. But if you practice ball mastery literally every day, 4 times a week, maybe, obviously every day is best, but 4 times a week, realistically, just 10 minutes a day, and you'll see the benefits within literally 1 week. It's honestly insane. And after we've done these 2, then we want to put our practice into 1v1s. And this basically adds the element, because what people hate on about cone drills is cones don't move, which I do understand, don't get me wrong. But obviously I've already explained why you need to do cone drills, so I won't go back into that. But the way that we basically improve on our ability to dribble is by reacting to external forces, and the external force being a defender. So you've now learned how to manipulate a ball to the left, to the right, roll over, whatever it is, drag back, etc. But Now, what you need to do in order to not be robotic is you need to be able to do this last second before an external force pushes their leg in, basically. So this is why when you structure a session, what you need to do is you do ball mastery, cone drill, whichever one. Then you do the 1v1s after once your technical's feeling sharp. So you practice these three, game changer, and then as well as this, small-sided games obviously very much helps, but it doesn't help because it's a small-sided game. It helps because there's lots of 1v1s in unique positions. And I benefited a lot from my 1v1 practice because I'm quite a competitive person at nature. Me and my friends used to do 1v1s all the time. And my 1v1s now are very, very good. I can go past anyone whenever I feel like it. My issue now is getting past like the third player. So that needs to be worked on. But I'll throw in a couple clips now of just me dribbling at people, just so you guys know I'm not some random bullshit YouTuber. And as well as this, so we've got the technical in terms of like your actual technical, like touching the ball, keeping the ball, retaining the ball. But as well as this, if you kick a ball against the wall, then you're going to get your first touch in, right? So this is something that Wayne Rooney did, for example. There's a study on him basically doing this. You start by slowly kicking a ball against a wall, and what this does is it obviously improves your passing. Then you begin, as you get better at this, you basically hit it harder and harder and harder. And what happens with this is you basically gain, one, your passing is going to improve, and then two, your first touch is going to be a joke. Someone plays in a terrible pass to you, that wall isn't giving you the best pass every single time. Of course it's not. There's like, when you hit a ball against a wall and it kind of fires back at you like this, comes in the air. If you've done this every day 50 times, 100 times, game changer. You're going to be so confident when the ball comes to you. So that's how to fix your technical, and let's get on to the second most fundamental thing in football, and that is fitness. When I tell you fitness this is arguably more important than actual technical ability, because let me just describe a scenario. If you could be the most technical player in the world, you could be Maradona's technical, but in today's day and age, with the amount of physicalness, the physical side of things, running up and down, inverting, left wing back, right wing back, whatever it is, you are like midfield as well, like you're running non-stop. And if you don't have the ball in a game as well, and you're getting dominated by an opposition, you are running. And this is the thing about fitness that a lot of people don't know, is that sort of when you haven't trained your fitness up, you don't actually realize how fit you can be. I always thought I was a naturally fit person until obviously I started playing, and obviously you get a bit tired, right? But you need to push your body to the absolute limit to truly find out how fit you can get. And you watch footballers on TV, and it doesn't seem that fast paced. But when I tell you these guys are the best athletes in the world, it's genuinely a joke. So with the fitness, you won't know you're truly fit until you do professional football drills. So with that being said, if you guys do want to buy my fitness program, 4-week course, you get lifetime access for just £7.97. It will be the first link in the description. And I also do guaranteed money back if you don't get to your fittest point you've ever been at. Because obviously I know I'm so confident with it. I got it from a professional football team that I trained at last year. Literally changed my career. I'm so fit now on the pitch. I can run up and down all day long. So anyway, we've spoke about why it's bad if you don't have good fitness. Now let's talk about why it benefits you. So if you have good fitness, you're an asset to any team, right? And what I mean by it being an asset is you can benefit this team, right? So within football, people always think, I deserve playing time, etc. But it doesn't work like this. You're actually sort of an asset to the team, right? What do you bring to the team? And if you can just work, if you can be a workhorse, you go up and down, you're an asset to the team, right? They'll want you in their big games because they know you're an absolute dog working up and down. And this is another thing that I cannot stress enough. Before I wasn't fit, what would happen, like literally every game, the first 5 minutes, I'd do something unbelievable. I'd run at the right back or something. You rinse him, easy. But after that, your legs don't work as well, right? If you've ever been in like the 60th, 70th, 80th, 90th minute of a game, and you try dribble at someone, and your legs just don't work as well as you want them to do. Like you've practiced. If you've ever had this issue within football, where you basically get into a game, you can do all the stuff in training, you get into the game, and like your legs just don't seem to work. You're trying to dribble at someone and it just doesn't seem to work. You can't do any of your skills. It's not due to a confidence issue, it's due to your fitness. If your fitness is the best it's ever been, and you're not getting tired mid-game, obviously you're going to get tired, but if your legs are used to working while they're tired, that is true fitness, right? And while your legs are used to working tired, it means they can do all the skills. They can perform the step over despite being tired. They're used to being a workhorse. So, like I've explained there, I've wrote that on screen. So, like I said, you can literally do these skills, but after 10 minutes, you can't do them because you're unfit, right? So, fitness, second most important thing, if not the most important thing. Now, moving on to how you actually fix your fitness. So, like I've already explained how to fix your fitness, I said, get my 4-week plan. It's genuinely the best thing. I've already had life-changing results from some people who have bought the plan. And do my plan in pre-season, and if you get my plan during the actual season, then I want you to skip the first 3 weeks because you don't want to be doing any sort of base. You don't want to be adding to your base fitness because you're during the season. This is too much work on your legs. What you want to be doing is the actual football base stuff, which I'm not going to leak here, but give me a message on Instagram if you have any more questions about my fitness plan. If not, get that and the link in the description, man. It's the best thing going. So, moving on to number 3, we've got discipline, right? This is not actually a football-related thing, but it's more so your mindset of how you're going to play football. So if you want pro fitness and pro technical, like I've just discussed before, then this means that you have to be better than literally everyone at it, right? Pro means professional, and professional means that everyone below that professional level, and the professional level is the top 1%, they are all worse than pro. So you have to ask yourself, right, how does the levels work, right? So how does someone get up here and everyone else is worse than them? If you're talking about Messi, let me go back into Zoom. Messi and Ronaldo up here, all the top pros up here, and everyone else is worse than them, right? What have they done? Obviously, there's some natural talent involved, but you have to ask yourself, why are they better than you? Why are they fitter than you? Why is someone's technical ability better than you? And you might be sat at home like a dickhead thinking, oh, they're more talented than me. Oh, they've got more money than me. They got more people to contact. And while them things may be true, the simple answer, and the majority of you, the answer is, it's because you're not disciplined and they've practiced more than you. And you're sitting at home crying like a baby because they're fitter than you and they got more technical than you. And when it comes to match day, you're getting vexed because these guys are way better than you. And you think that it's because they're lucky or they're talented, whatever it is. But no, you can literally become better than someone by just being disciplined, doing the hard work when you don't want to, and you'll improve just like that. It's so simple. These guys have put more hours in than you, so you need to put more hours in than them to catch up to these guys, okay? So the best way to improve these things and all attributes in football is by discipline, because what this does is you do the actions more often, you pick your routine, and you stay consistent with the routine, then your progress will be like this. Obviously, there are ups and downs here, but compared to someone who doesn't have a strict routine, someone who doesn't have discipline in their life, they train where they feel like it, they train randomly, they do 2 sessions in one day sometimes, and then none for a week. These guys are all over the place, right? They might improve one day, and then they reset their progress. If you're disciplined, you're going to be training consistent. And when you add them days up and up and up, over the course of maybe a week, it doesn't seem like a lot. But when you add this to the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, you are miles ahead of someone who started. You've both started at this point, right? You've both started here. The person who's disciplined, they finish 3 years later up here. The person who's not, they go up, down, and then they finish somewhere all the way below you. So it's a massive difference, right? So discipline is the third most important thing, but you need it for everything, basically. So how to actually fix your discipline, right? So this is something that I would recommend doing for sure. Write down your dream state, your dream outcome, which is being a professional footballer, having that nice physique, having a good sense of worth, and being confident, right? Now you've got the dream reality of yourself. You picture yourself as that guy. So now you need to break it down, because obviously that's miles above. You're down here, you've just picked the guy up here. That's who you want to be like, right? So now you write down how you're actually going to get there through actions, right? And then with this, you make the routine, you stick to that routine, the discipline will get you there, right? So the weekly routine is genuinely so important because what it does is it basically makes you on autopilot, right? And what I do, this is what I do every single day to make sure I'm disciplined and I get everything done in my day, whether that's filming content, playing football, stretching, sauna, whatever it is, right? So the night before, you write down what your day is like for tomorrow, okay? And you're thinking, like, I can't be bothered, I'll do it in the morning. No, this gives you better sleep, right? Because you're not stressed about your day tomorrow. And then also it adds to the autopilot mode because as soon as you wake up like this, you check your phone, you're in the notes page, and immediately you know what you have to do, right? It's already in your brain. You don't even need to check because you wrote it the night before. And what that means is you can burst out of bed, do your morning routine, and you're already ahead of everyone else, right? And then also this holds you accountable, right? And the way that it holds you accountable is because when you do the tasks, like say it's right, you wrote down a cold shower, training, stretch after training. Obviously you write way more than that because we're disciplined, we do our stuff, right? But let's just say it's those three things. Every time you write a little tick next to those things, once you've ticked it off, what that does is you get dopamine from that, right? And this is addictive. And when you don't complete something, so say you wrote your training today and you don't train, you look at that notes page and you go, I can't give myself a green tick. And what that does, that will piss you off to the max, okay? So this is how to be disciplined. Make sure you are disciplined because otherwise you can train your fitness all you like for a week or 2 weeks. You lose it if you stop for 3 weeks, right? So discipline is effectively the most important thing, if not second, third. And if you do want me to make you a pro routine, link below. I've had very, very good reviews so far, and it's a very affordable price at the moment. It's just £9.97. I'm going to be upping the price soon, so don't miss out, basically. All right, moving on to number 4. So we've got the wow factor, right? And a lot of people don't talk about this. They talk about being all well-rounded and stuff with football. But the wow factor is something to get a scout, a manager, whatever, is someone watching you. They watch the game, they watch you do something, and they go, wow. Like it, it's very obvious, like, right? But what this does is it doesn't just mean they're like impressed with you. Like they release dopamine from this. So they're literally gassed to see you do something. If they're impressed by you, then what this means is they're happy, right? If you make the scout happy, then they're more likely to sign you. So it's just logic, right? And as well as this, from the logic side of you, the logic point of view, we've obviously got the emotional. You make them happy, it gets them like, wow. But logically, it makes them think, wow, this guy can actually play at a higher level, right? Because if your dribbling's elite or your shooting's elite, whatever is elite about you, then it means that you're going to be able to replicate that at a higher level, right? But what I'm saying here is don't not work on your weaknesses, but what I am saying is you work on your wows. So how you actually get the wow factor, like I just started describing. So you pick your best attribute, whether that's dribbling, shooting, whatever it is, and then what you do with this is you keep training it. If you keep training it, then it will improve exponentially above your other factors. And while you still want to work on your weaknesses, if you get that wow factor in, then you're just gonna, let me go back and zoom, you're just gonna stand out way more. Because, for example, if your weak foot is, or let's just say you're defending, right, is a weak point, right? Obviously you can get found out with this, but if you're dribbling going forwards, for example, or your passing is so much better, then the scout will still watch you, the manager will still watch you, and they're likely going to be like, okay, like this guy has potential. It's sort of showcasing talent. So with this, work on your strengths as well as your weaknesses, right? And I'm not saying don't work on your weaknesses because obviously you'll get found out. Managers will not like it if you have a weak point, right? So still work on your weaknesses, but do not neglect your strengths. If you work on your strengths, then you just improve further and further. And likely from that, any of you who are talented in this manner, say you're naturally good at shooting, you've probably never even worked on your shooting. So imagine if you worked on your shooting, it would go from all the way up here to all the way up there, right? So that's how you improve on your wow factor. I think I've covered everything now. I've covered discipline. Actually, I'll go in order. I've covered technical ability, discipline, and fitness, and the wow factor, right? So that's all 4 things. That's all you need, okay? That's all you need. Obviously, you work at these things relentlessly, right? You work with the discipline on your fitness, on your technical ability, and on your strengths. And obviously, do not neglect your weaknesses and the basics. But these 4 things will get you noticed, okay? So work hard, and that's me completely done. Also, if you like this video, remember to subscribe, as it really helps me out.